Clearly, I have all the power here.
Yes, He-Man, you have the power.
Oh shit! The
Yes,
cat's
Adam of Eternia.
and as soon as I hit record, the cat's coming over like, "Oh, it's time for me to shine."
It
My
is.
bowl is a little empty.
It's time for the cat to shine.
Like he just disappeared. I think he's gonna go steal food out the kitchen.
Shine, kitty,
He's
shine.
checking to make sure you're busy. That's what it is. Like, yeah, he's busy
Like
for a while.
clockwork. As soon as I sit down in this chair, he's like, "Oh, I could possibly sit on his lap. Let me come over." I sit over here to play PlayStation. He's like, "Oh, let me come over." And say something
Right.
neat the whole time. Like, then he jumps into my lap. Ah! Anyway, welcome to the Three Hokages podcast. We're your hosts, Kay, Kareem, and Hanif. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, or those who don't know they're the father. As Maury Povich would say, you are the father.
Seriously.
What did you do? Did you guys do anything special for Happy Father's Day? Did you call your dad, Kay?
Yes, I called my father and I sent messages to my brothers because everyone in my family apparently has kids. I'm just kidding, not apparently.
No.
Apparently. No, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What do you guys? What do you two do? Like, at least you have Hanif, you have an older kid that could potentially do something nice for you. Kareem, you have a little kid that can do nothing nice for you. So,
What a way to say your son is useless. That's so nice. Happy Father's Day. Your son is useless.
It's accurate though. He can't do much.
what's he gonna do? Make a card? Like, hey, actually, no.
He could have made a card in school. Could have put it, present him with a little card. Maybe his mom helped him with the breakfast in bed or something like that. But no, your son is useless. Kareem had to blur out the background because the kid is crying back. He's traumatized.
It's not for his ears, you know. Oh boy. No, but he actually said happy Father's birthday. So, you know,
Okay.
that it works. It works.
Close enough.
Yeah.
My son, he text messaged me Happy Father's Day and told me he's going to get me either the Galactus popcorn bucket or the robot thing for when he's going to treat me to Fantastic Four. So that's his Father's Day gift. It's nice to see he's got a job, and part of me wants him to save his money, but the other part is like, "Ooh, I'm getting me a goodie." I was like, "Okay."
That's nice. That's pretty dope. That's a good idea.
So he's like, you just said, I get you. I said, I'll buy the tickets and I'll get you your snacks and popcorn. I was like, oh, this is what it must feel like to go on a date. I get nothing nice. No, but that was the Father's Day gift that was presented to me. And Kirsten bought cupcakes.
Oh, that was nice.
And that's what put me into the sugar coma. I had a carrot cake cupcake. I got a red velvet waiting for me, but I had the carrot cake one. And after this, I just slept it off until I woke up for the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Y'all also did something else today. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that like
this is a family oriented podcast, man.
Clearly, read the ticker tape, brothers. Read the ticker tape, idiot.
Oh,
wow! Not what y'all did to become fathers.
That read pop.
They had to become fathers somehow, right?
Exactly. What
a way to segue into something else.
Yeah,
correct.
You folks at home might have purchased your New York Comic Con tickets.
Maybe.
New York Comic Con tickets went on sale this afternoon, June 15th. For those who had the, I think, Super Fan Pass, you get early access to trying to get a ticket. I think the VIP tickets sold out again in record time in under half an hour. Those 100 plus or so tickets, I think they're over $800 now, the VIP tickets?
It was like, it was like 800 and something, like $806 and change. Like,
yeah.
Out there
or 500 in your first one.
Yeah. Plus the 100 for being a super fan.
Yeah, so you don't count that. So I have my that's why I was asking anyone if they needed a link because I haven't purchased my tickets. I think I'm just gonna go either Thursday or Sunday. So I feel if I can get the ticket, I can get the ticket later. I'm not in a rush right now to pick it up.
Yeah,
I think my son wants to go, but I think he's going to see if we can work with Joe, because he works Sundays anyway. So he's going to see if he can on his day off of Saturday, if he can just go and get some extra money by helping some of our friends out who do vending.
Yeah.
Was it easy for you to get a ticket, Kareem?
Easier than last time.
Really?
Last time I think I had the super fan. Last year I didn't renew the super fan this year because again, $100 you get guaranteed tickets, but it's like, come on. I mean, they raised the prices this year. So I just waited for the fan verification sale this morning. It took about 20 minutes to actually get in to purchase the tickets, which isn't that bad.
No, that's nothing.
yeah, that's not bad at all. And then once you get in, you just have the 10 minutes or so to get everything you needed. And I just got the 4-day, and I don't have to buy a kid's ticket yet. So I got one more year before I have to buy a kid's ticket. So
That's
I'm good. I'm good.
Nice. Savor that feeling.
Yeah.
Because once it's time to buy kids tickets, the prices can go up another $10.
Oh yeah.
Because what did you kids tickets used to be $50 or something like that? Or was that just a Sunday ticket?
Kids
I think the age was higher too.
Yeah,
I think it was like 8.
Like, you didn't. Because like I didn't have to buy a kid's ticket for like my oldest set of nieces and nephews until they were like 8 or so. Like it was good, and then like all of a sudden I was like, oh, now I gotta buy like 2 tickets for 2 kids, like 2 kids tickets, and then the real tickets for
up until I thought maybe 9 or 10 or something, like it was free on, like the thing was free as long as you're coming with a company.
Yeah, it used to be free.
Yeah.
It used to be free for an adult. Now it's from 6 to 11 or 5 to 11. You have to buy a kid's ticket, and it's for Sundays. And then any other day you want to bring them, you got to buy like an adult ticket. I'm like,
Kareem's gonna push it. He's gonna be like, yeah, he's been 5. He's been 5 for like the last 2 years.
Right. Right.
Look here, just as long as he's little. Okay. Let me be honest. So for my nephew, he was little for a long time. Like he was just short. So I got to still like mess with with a kid's ticket than like getting him like a proper a regular ticket. But then I just stopped bringing him on Sundays anyway, and just started telling him not to go to school on Thursdays, and I just grabbed him for Thursdays. But like
let's play hooky.
I played it.
Yeah, right.
Let's be
real.
School
and telling him to sneak in. I mean,
okay, but let's be 100% honest. That's almost always the week of Columbus Day. They're not learning anything useful in school anyway at that time.
Well, nowadays they're not learning anything useful anyway. So
that's a whole other argument that we can't have.
That's a whole other podcast right about now.
Right. But, I mean, we could do it, but no. Nobody will tune back in to us every day. But yeah, so like I was like for like 2 years, he was a kid. He was little. He ain't looking. I was like, great, this works for me.
Let's take
more money in my pocket.
Let's take advantage of this. I don't see a problem with that. No. They haven't made any announcements in regards to any guests or possible panels.
But there's a theme.
Yeah. The theme is what, like the Halloween?
Yeah, I think it's like Halloween.
Oh,
like,
that's
why is that a theme?
That's a stretch, being in October.
Yeah, how did they come up with that idea? I mean,
I mean, last year was interesting with the bodega kind of thing, but it's like, as a New Yorker with bodegas all over the place, it's like I can't seem to be like, oh, let me get this bodega cat plushie. Like I'm good. I can go down the block and see a bodega cat for real. So it's great.
I mean, for how long? Because they're trying to make them legal. No.
Trying to make bodega cats illegal. They serve a purpose.
You haven't seen that thing? Okay, sorry, this is a complete divergence. So there's a thing online where they're trying to legalize a bodega cat, because technically they're not legal to have in your store right now. So they're trying to pass it, like do a law for New York City so that it can be legal to have the cat. Like
people can bring their dogs into these stores. I don't see why they can't have a cat inside of a store.
Exactly. I'm like, is it the most sanitary thing? Cats laying on bread? No.
Look. Listen. It's as they say. It's it's Pablo's service animal. That's all. He needs, in order for him to provide you with the chopped cheese or the bacon egg, he needs a service animal at the ready, and that's what the gato is there for.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, you know what though? Okay, so I'm looking at the New York Comic Con, the merch.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cute. The t-shirts are kind of okay. The hat is,
No, I mean the stuff isn't bad. I mean, because last year I bought I think it was one with it was like a raccoon or something like that. I think it's like shouting into the void or some silly phrase or whatever with the trash pandas as a raccoon. So I picked it up. I'm not saying the stuff is bad, but it's like we've seen, from attending BirdCon, we've seen themes that have seemed a bit more fun and interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another thing I'm surprised certain conventions don't have more merch, convention exclusive merch. Like BirdCon should have had merch available on their site the entire year leading up to BirdCon that people can purchase. I think that's a missed opportunity.
It is.
But,
Branding, people, branding. I'm just
It's everything.
It is. Also, still no guests. Why is there no?
Well, I think that's probably traditional with Comic-Con. They don't issue out the guests before the tickets go on sale. Like you want
They
to
used
get in.
to. I mean, okay, I know I'm
They
old.
haven't done that in a long time. I think since you could buy tickets from Midtown, they haven't announced guests. I don't mind that too much, because I think if they announce certain guests, it may be harder to get tickets in the beginning.
True.
But I still don't understand how they sold out of all 4-day passes. VIP, I get. They want people to, I guess, have the super fan or be verified from last year, but now 4-day passes as well.
Yeah.
I think they're just saying that. Like they may have maybe they have a limit on how many they can sell out for pre-sale for the super fan. When the general admission comes, I'd really be surprised if there are no 4 days for general sale unless they reduce the number of them, because we don't know what their total quantity is. Not like they have a tally at the top of the screen saying there's only 500 left, there's 400 left. They just tell you it's sold out.
Yeah,
they said there won't be a sale. They said for the general sale there will be no 4-day tickets available.
I guess so. I think I guess that's the way of getting more money. They reduce the number of multi-day passes, forcing people to buy more single-day passes.
Yeah.
I think that's because we never know how many they actually have in reserve. Because I don't see them having. I think Javits can hold several 100,000 people. I don't see them having 10,000, 20,000 4-day passes in stock, and then those selling out within a matter of less than an hour.
Yeah.
But no fault. I mean, that's how Repop does it. Kudos to them for selling tickets. I know there'll still be single days available if I so choose to go. Thursday, Friday, or I don't want to go Saturday because I know it's going to be more crowded. I'd rather just do Thursday or Friday when there'll be generally less people. I can get in, get out. I don't feel like it's a mad dash or.
They better deliver with the gas, the panels, everything, because they have to justify raising the prices, and they can't blame it on anything other than they just want to make more money.
Maybe I'm sure they'll have some. Maybe they'll have someone from it's in October. Maybe someone from MCU can show up and talk about what happened this year. Maybe some Disney Plus stuff. We don't know what they're going to have with no real set theme in regards to any 10-year, 5, 10, 20, 25, 30-year anniversary of any programs that I can think of that came out so many years ago.
Yeah, probably not. Of course, I'm now looking it up because Psycho is celebrating its 65th. Wow.
I don't think anyone there is going to be anyone alive.
Yeah, no. Also, now looking at this, it's like, wait, so I'm not going into this because I'm looking at it's like, wow, that movie Spartacus and Psycho came out the same year. That seems like a weird choice of combos of movies. Gladiator is 25 years.
Did they get Russell Crowe?
Joaquin Phoenix, maybe. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
The whole no. Well, that won't happen. I was gonna say the whole 9 yards, but I'm like, yeah, we definitely will not be
No. I see. I think they did a Ghostbusters one a year or two ago.
Back to the Future, 40 years.
Okay, so maybe the cast can show up, possibly.
So
Maybe. I mean, any year is a good year for a Lord of the Rings anniversary. So I mean,
is it though?
it
Is
is.
it?
Like
Is
this
it
is
though?
the 19th
I don't feel like
year.
you're right about
Let's
that.
just
I don't know. I feel like you're wrong about that one, sir. I don't think. I don't think we need a.
Chris was watching Desolation of Smog earlier this morning, and I asked a question. I said, if you had the choice, which Hobbit adventure would you rather be on? Would you rather be on Bilbo's adventure, or would you rather be on Frodo's adventure? You can't change anything because it wouldn't be like, oh, well, I would have did. No, you either being Bilbo or you be Frodo on these journeys. Which one would you had rather gone through?
Bilbo.
She said, well, she said Frodo because she wouldn't have to deal with the spiders like you did in The Hobbit.
Oh, he got stabbed by a spider.
Frodo,
He
yeah,
got wrapped up.
but there's only one spider. In The Hobbit, there was a whole forest full of them.
That's true. That's true.
I probably would have picked Bilbo's because it seemed like just a much grander adventure. You know, he fought elves, orcs, spiders, dragons.
Yeah.
You got to see the 5 army war in person, kind of thing. I think I would have enjoyed. I guess knowing that everything, either way, he still survives. I think I'd have enjoyed that.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, he still
Frodo didn't
survived.
really
Like,
survive.
he didn't die.
Yeah.
So I think I would have enjoyed that storyline more as far as an adventure goes. But we're going all over the place from
And that's what New York Comic Con is about.
That's a good segue into our next topic.
Wait, is our next topic
Doctor Who?
Time travel.
So the season of Doctor Who has ended. I think it was 8 episodes. Some hits, some misses. This was my official first time seeing a full season of Doctor Who, so it was nice to enjoy it. I have questions, but I will wait until the end of our discussion to ask those questions to the Whovians here. So, Kay, what was your thoughts on this season?
Overall, I enjoyed the season. We know I have issues. We know I'm annoyed that it's not coming back with Shooty, and also that as of right now, it's not coming back at all. So, yay, Disney!
Not coming back at all on Disney Plus, or
no. Disney hasn't renewed it. Hence why there's this whole thing about why Shooty couldn't continue on, because guess what? Disney's being douchebags, and they're not. I'm sorry, we can't say that word. Disney's being the wonderful mice people that they are, and they haven't renewed renewed it. So we don't know. We're in limbo about when there's going to be another Doctor Who. Period. But other than that, it was really good.
I don't know about that. I figured Doctor Who was like a staple. Like, it's been around for so long that it's automatically going to have another season, especially since how this season ended, that you would think they would go on to have another season.
Right. One would think that, you built something up and you gave us something, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Yeah, so far there's been nothing. There's no. All we're getting is the spin-off thingy with the Sea Devils and the werewolf from Being Human.
That's
so cute.
Yeah, the cat started talking, so let me add him to the show.
Welcome to the Cat Talk.
You got a cat cameo. There you go.
But Kareem, so how do you feel?
That's a very loaded question. Well, first, I want to say I do want to see a new Doctor Who season. So hopefully there is renewal and they give it more opportunities to fix what has been done this last season, in my opinion. So I could write a thesis on my feelings about it, but I did not like the ending. The finale to me just seemed like it was very rushed. The changes at the end seemed to be very rushed. A lot was left unanswered. So from the moment that he became the Doctor, also the split between the two doctors, and the backstory that they seem to change and imply about. It's like they really didn't explore any of that whatsoever. And I know they had, some tidbits along the way, but I don't even think those were worthy of this long journey. And I don't want to give too much away in terms of, the daughter and not having a daughter, but it just seemed as if this iteration of the doctor did everything in his power to make him not feel like the doctor. And that part to me is the most frustrating, um, because I'm all for representation. What I'm not for is pretending to have representation in the guise of undermining what a character has always been, so that you feel like, you know what, it would be better if they never had representation to begin with. And I feel like that occurs way too often, where the shows, the characters get undermined to the point where, like, I just hope this show goes away, as opposed to feeling excited like this could really work out. And that's what I feel. We have a doctor who a lot of the classic villains were not there. A lot of the doctor moments where he steps up were not there. Um, and that to me is a disservice to the setup, not only to the doctor, but to the companions. It just seemed like it was all over the place, in my opinion. And those classic doctor moments, every step of the way, kept being undermined, and even undermined in the form of fan service, so that you don't even realize it. So even when he was on the TARDIS at the end, and another doctor appeared, I was excited at first. I'm like, yes, because the great doctor, in my opinion. But then I thought about it and said, wait, he still hasn't had his moment yet, where it's like he doesn't. They never let him figure out the majority of problems that he faced. It was always someone else. And I'm not saying that he can't have that help, because every doctor did, but it's very subtle, in my opinion. Where if you keep watching it, it's like, wait, he doesn't even know how to use his own TARDIS, and it's like, okay, now they're going a bit far.
Yeah, the things like that, as again, as someone new to this series, I thought that's like what happens when you change, or you turn from one iteration of the Doctor to another, that you lose some of your memory, because there was certain parts of the season where he would, there would be like this great reveal, and they would flash back to the previous Doctor who encountered that character or encountered this location before. So I'm guessing like the spots of his memory that disappears or fails him, because he doesn't remember this stuff when he changes from one body to another.
So yeah, in each iteration, like the Doctor forgets some things, and he'll like he especially in the beginning of his generation, he like is always like completely discombobulated. I hate that word, but that's the best way to say it. But because it sounds like a pretentious word. But like that's always the thing with the Doctor. But I agree, like there did seem to be things that were a little bit longer running with him in it. And I guess now we know, because potentially it's because Disney is doing their Disney stuff and not continuing things. So whatever. Sorry, I'm gonna always be mad about this, like, because I'm committed to the fact that this man was gonna get 3 seasons, and I was gonna be like, yes, like to me it should be 3 and done. If you can get 4, great, but I think 2 seasons, what we got was not bad. What we got needs more telling. Like we ended and it's not
satisfying.
Yes, I'm like, where's more? Give me more. Give me something. Give me, even if you gave him even if we came back for a 3rd season and had a brand new companion, I'd be like, okay, cool beans. We got a new companion. We've done stuff. Like, it's just, I'm so mad. Like, and that finale came what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I'm still super irked by it, because I'm just like,
well, how many seasons did Jodie Whittaker get as a Doctor? She get 3 also, or 2?
Okay. So Jodie, unfortunately, she got like 3, but not 3 real seasons because COVID. So like,
yeah.
It's
also the years too. So it's kind of like 5 years for her of being a doctor.
And that's
Okay.
where this is. Like the only other person I got like he has the least amount of years. Well, no, that's not true. Of New Who, of from 2005 to now, the only person who has less years is Eccleston,
Christopher, yeah.
who yeah. And Eccleston only did one season until, issues occurred. But so but then this is just it seems so hopeful, and there were so many good moments for it for me that I'm like, y'all are taking that away again. Like, here's the prize. It's really great.
Yeah.
Screw y'all.
Yeah. And that's my issue with a lot of the episodes. Because now looking back, they're just gonna feel like filler episodes as opposed to, episodes that really carry this iteration of the Doctor. Like again, still, if we didn't have that barbershop episode, I would be really pissed off. But at least I can think about that and say, wow, I know the potential that was there. I know all that they could have covered, and for whatever reason, they chose not to. But a lot of it is well, why they just spend so much time on these different topics as opposed to the questions that needed answers that you're created. I mean, they created these questions and they never answered them. And then it's like, well, why? Like, I love David Tennant as a Doctor, but why was there a split? Why did that have to happen? What's all of this? The Time Lords copied the Doctor. Like, where are we going with any of this? It's like they didn't explore any of those topics that they created once they started this, and that's what I don't understand. That's what's also frustrating.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's the biggest problem for me. Like, just like you said, like it's even from the again, this is why I think that they did not think that they were not going to get renewed for a third season. I really think that this is Disney screwing it up, because that making the whole thing about her retconning history and making it seem that she needed to get home to, can we say F it? If you haven't watched it before, to get home to Poppy.
To get home to Poppy, yeah.
Right. And I'm just like, but we know Poppy was from the future. I get timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, blah, 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 blah. Cool. So there's just so much that I think that they did wrong, but it feels like they rushed it because, again, this was all filmed last year. So they could have been, if Disney was if Disney was more forward thinking, they could have had this entire year to film. So we would have had another season, and he could have gone on to do the other stuff that he needed to do. But instead, you got Disney supposedly didn't do anything, and it's just like there's so like where's the question? Who was the girl in like for that episode? Who was the entity that what's her name saw in the room? For the barbershop episode, who was the child that led her to the room to the barbershop? Who's that girl? Was that supposed to be an older version of Poppy? Like, now it's just like
just some random girl. But my question with the barbershop episode, again, I never saw the transformation from the previous Doctor to Cuddy. So as a viewer, is there supposed to be a time period that elapses between her the change from her to him? Or is it just supposed to be instantaneous? Because when I began the first season of with Doctor Who as a Black Doctor Who, and then seeing the episode in the barbershop, it's like, well, he talking about he was obviously he can travel through space and time, but we were with him during these journeys. So when did he actually go to the barbershop these ages ago to save that town, the original barber? Or when did he have time to go back and save his companion from almost getting hit by a car when she was younger? Like, I didn't see that happening. So I'm guessing these are things that happen off screen out of time from okay.
They the sad thing is they do that a lot. Like that show, it does it a lot. It does it where like you get hints of stories, and I'm gonna say it during Tennant's time. there were hints of like background stories that would go on, and I was like, yo, that background story seems way more interesting than what I'm watching.
But see,
Again,
the thing
nothing
is, you
is
can't. But it's a black doctor, so it's not like, oh, it's just a random white guy had saved me from a car. So it's no random white guy saved the saved the village here in Lagos. It's a black guy.
right,
So it can't be any other version of the doctor in his timeline other than this is no. And even when he went to in the second episode when he was in in Miami in the 50s or so, he's talking as if he experienced this racism before he said, no, this place I can't go. Maybe it sounded like he was talking from experience, like I've experienced being black before, and it's not so safe, blah blah blah. I'm like, and this is your first time being a person of color though. I don't know.
right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there were two of them too in that episode.
That doubled up on this one.
Yeah. I mean, but that episode at least tried to touch on it a little bit, and my expectation wasn't that they're gonna have him fighting slavery and segregation and things like that's
Yeah.
not what I was looking for. What I was looking for was you let him embody the character, and you tell stories that have meaning and that carry over. I feel like now the stories they told, they can pretty much ignore everything, and it won't make a difference. And that's my issue is like they didn't want to touch on anything that would seem to add to canon for Doctor Who. And even Poppy. And it's like if it's a spoiler at this point in time, I may say it, but just and I am gonna say the spoiler about it, just even Poppy not being his daughter, it's like, okay, how many times are we going to do this where you're teasing that the doctor has something, but now it's actually really nothing. It's like, okay, he did all of that for someone that who the father is, we don't know. It's like we did that in the first season where you think their companion is, oh, who is she? Who is she? And it's like, oh, there's really no one. But the doctor, he has to give away every single thing for that. And it's like, I get it, but how many times are we going to do this? He didn't give anything that's going to stick after this iteration. And that's my frustration.
Exactly. Like everything can be wiped away, and you're just like, unless we bring back the guy who's stuck in the hell dimension, unless we bring back the Ronnie who's still out there, like, and you still have Tennant out there, and I'm assuming Tennant is gonna show back up because they're gonna have a special, like they're gonna have a Christmas special because there's no reason that it's the 25th anniversary. No lies, it's the 20th anniversary. Yeah, 20th anniversary of when the show rebooted. So I'm like, that's definitely why we got who we got saying hello there at the very end, because I'm like, y'all know what people wanted. It's a big 20th anniversary. Although again,
it might.
Let's be honest, the way America's going right now, they might not go. They're both
right now with a travel.
We may not have a New York Comic-Con, people. Bunker edition.
Right.
You've all seen Fallout. Let me go get my Brotherhood of Steel costume real quick.
Cosplayers fighting life and death.
Got some time for another military parade.
Yeah, it really be the anniversary of Gladiator.
Well, but yeah, like it could have been it, and it's so sad because I was like, I enjoyed more episodes than I did not enjoy. And even though he never got like you said, like he didn't get all those great big doctor moments, I liked what he did. He to me was one of the more human doctors. Plus we got to see Jodie come back, and we also got to see the fugitive doctor come back, and I will always support the fugitive doctor coming back. I don't care. Like if y'all want to do something for me, give me a storyline with just a fugitive doctor. Like, and I don't mean like a big finish audio drama. Like, I want bring her back for just like, even if you have to bring all the doctors back, just bring it back. Just one good time.
Yeah.
It's just
I agree. There were a lot of moments that I enjoyed. I'm not gonna say there aren't any, And so my frustration is not his portrayal of the Doctor; it's the material overall that he was given. And again, a theme that I think doesn't just apply to Doctor Who. They play it very safe with these stories, and we have the same thing of a Jedi, turning into someone who's not a Jedi. And I feel like they did the same thing with the Doctor, even with Omega. He defeated Omega not with a weapon that he created or a weapon that he even helped create. It was, oh, here's a convenient weapon that just seems to be right here. Let me use it. And it didn't feel creative on the Doctor's part.
Yeah.
And that's what seemed to lack, like that Doctor's creativity, personality, that nudge the Doctor gives. It just seemed like there was a lot that was left undone.
Yeah, I think that's my big, again, that's still my issue. Is like you brought us stuff and you didn't, you get, the bad guys got beat like they were nothing.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And I can say, as someone who
Omega was just like, you tease we're getting Omega and then nothing. Like it again, it really feels like
easily put back into his realm.
Right. And it really just felt like my assumption was, well, this is how I feel like they probably, whoever the writers probably were gonna do. The season was gonna end with Omega being out, and then probably the next season, this is how, in my mind, the next season would deal with Omega being out, the Ronnie being out, and like the Doctor having to fight for that. And I still think that potentially Poppy was supposed to be his kid, which would have been great, and I'm still upset about that because she's so cute. She's so adorable.
The little kid was cute.
But whatever, screw y'all, Disney. Whatever. That's why Disney sucks.
It's the visual representation, not the actual substance behind it, where you give the character something where you can't just ignore his time there. As someone who was not familiar with Omega, it just seemed like, okay, what was the big deal about Omega? I mean, he didn't seem any different from any other, random monster that he seemed to, be able to take care of. And that was my issue with, like, the worst villain he faced was a trap that he tripped over. No, I'm kidding. But it's like it's like his arch enemy was.
Oh, this is my fault.
If he put a trap on the ground, he was going to step on it and get caught. But he didn't face the Daleks. He didn't face a lot of people that it's like maybe they didn't know how to write those stories without making him act like the Doctor.
Yeah. Again, Disney Plus is your fault because y'all was supposed to originally take 26 episodes according to the BBC. Y'all was supposed to be 26 episodes. That was 16. 16 suckers. Wait. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because the specials don't count. So yeah, that's 16 episodes. Y'all owe us 10 more episodes. And y'all better find a way to bring that man back. Just saying. I know it's me. I got problems. But anyway, let's move from my aggressive, angry days to, hey, you're gonna show our sponsor? You're gonna show our sponsor drink?
No.
But it's the drink of the summer. No,
it's not the drink of the summer until they pay us to say that.
Right?
Maybe they can pay us to say it's not the drink. It's not the drink of the summer. I can badmouth it. Not to badmouth it.
Okay, so anyway, let's go to something slightly more wonderful and potentially, well, which one of you saw The World of Wick? I mean, sorry, From the World of Wick.
Yes,
From
like the world of Disney,
the
world of Wick.
Right, be a
ballerina on opening weekend. For those who are not familiar, Ballerina is I guess a class or a type of a female assassin within the world of John Wick. They are part of the Russian clique. I'm trying to. I guess they're similar to the Black Widow, White Widow. Like they basically, these ballerinas aren't actually trained to be ballerinas, but they're also trained to be bodyguards, assassins as well. The main character, Anna de Armas's character, Eve. They show her shoot. Father dies early at the prologue of the film. Father gets killed. She's then adopted by Winston and brought to Angelica Houston's school of ballerinas where she stays, she grows up and becomes a ballerina. There are cameos by John Wick himself, Mr. Keanu Reeves. So this does take place in between the John Wick films. I'll let you watch the John Wick films and then figure out which one is it between 2 and 3, 3 and 4. But pretty much she just wants to find out who killed her father. So that's the main storyline, is who killed her father, who is it, and how can I get my revenge? Even though Angelica Houston doesn't want her to go get revenge because it's going to upset an unsteady truce they have between warring factions, she goes about going about trying to get her own revenge anyway. This excellent gunplay. So if you love John Wick gunplay, you'll love the gunplay in this movie. She's not a superwoman, so she gets beat up, she gets shot at or sliced at or cut or stabbed at and whatnot. So I like that. It wasn't like she was just a badass, just kicking butt and taking names. She shows her vulnerability in this as well, similar to John Wick. No, John Wick doesn't come out of his movies unscathed either. But I thought the fight scenes were well choreographed. There's some new fight mechanics that I haven't seen before with flames that were pretty cool. I don't see how you can have dueling flamethrower battles, but somehow they made that work.
I love that.
And so I was like, okay, this
dueling flamethrower battles.
Flamethrower battles. It's two people with flamethrowers fighting each other. And I mean that and gunplay, grenade play. There's a lot of great moves in this film that I think as a fan of John Wick you'd love it. Looking at the Rotten Tomato scores, I think critics may have given it like a 75, but the fans gave it well over 90 because it serves that void of seeing more about those assassins inside the world of John Wick. They could have given us a story like this for Common's character after John Wick 2. We presume he dies on the train, but they could give us a prequel of how he became up in the ranks of his gang or whatever. But I enjoyed it. I think if you're a fan of John Wick, you would. I'd be surprised if you don't enjoy the Ballerina movie. Yeah.
So
no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say. See, yeah, we both. Green, go first.
No, you go first.
You're older. Go first.
I love the John Wick franchise. I've seen all 4 movies multiple times. I'm optimistic about a 5th movie. So Ballerina is definitely in my list of movies I have to see in the movie. So I'm glad to hear that it holds its own in the world of the Wick, as opposed to something where it's like, yeah, we're not going to talk about that movie that had some tie-ins to the Wick movie. So I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I just want to see somebody with that bulletproof suit on. I want to see people blocking. And I want to see those long choreographed fights. So I'm excited to see it.
Because this, honestly, you don't even need to watch any of the John Wick movies to appreciate this one, because she's introduced to John Wick as, I heard of John Wick. He's like, no, he's the boogeyman, whatever, and you see his cameo, whatever. So even if you didn't see his movies and know how much of a badass he is, similar to the first John Wick, where he's spoken in hushed tones, similar to this movie. Like, he's spoken in hushed tones, and here he is. He shows himself. He talks to. He does his cameos or whatever. And then it's refocused right back onto Ana de Armas's character, Eve. And it's not like, okay, well, John Wick isn't here. Now I'm just going to accompany him through whatever I need to do. Or he'll be my buddy, like a buddy cop movie. No, it's her story to tell. And we ride with her throughout the film. It's really good. Again, to me, I like a good movies fight scenes as far as choreograph, if it's hand-to-hand combat, or even just again with the gunplay. It's not like the old 80s movies where you got to come in with a bandolier like Rambo or Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando, where you just blowing open a whole factory, a whole town full of folks with just one machine gun, never reloading. Like this, she's using a gun, reloading it, getting another firearm, reloading, all that kind of stuff. Or it's knife fights and flatware or dinner plates being thrown and stuff like that, or flamethrowers or grenades, like whatever is available. I'm trying to put this either through you, on you, take you out.
Huh.
So what would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8. I'd probably give it an 8. There's some scenes, again, because I didn't see John Wick 4, because there's scenes in here that start off with a room full of dead bodies, and she's just wiping some blood off her face. I'm not sure if this is a tie-in to what may have been in John Wick 4, but this is just showing the viewer how much of a badass is. She just took out a whole room full of people, and she's, this is post assault work. Like, she's just wiping some blood off the suit, getting herself fixed up so she's more presentable as she's walking out of the club. Like, is that something I should have seen before the movie? Or is that like a quick tie-in to John Wick Part 4 that she did this or whatever? But no, I think I give it an 8. No movie's perfect, so it's hard I don't think it revolutionized anything for me to say, oh, this is a 10 out of 10. Like, this is not the first time seeing a 360-degree angle in the Matrix, or this is a cultural experience like Black Panther 1. Like, this is it's a great movie, but I don't think it's a 9 or a 10 as far as being almost perfect kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask a question, but have you ever seen the movie Naked Weapon?
If so, it doesn't ring any bells.
It is essentially like it was like Maggie Q. It was a movie where women were trained to be assassins. Forget it, because I was gonna ask if it's for some reason when they started saying that the Ballerina was gonna be a movie, it immediately made me think of the movie Naked Weapon. Mm-hmm. But like, they take young women, they are trained to be assassins. I guess kind of like the Red Room.
It's the movie with I forgot her name from Hunger Games, but that movie that she was in, where she was like a trained assassin as well.
Ooh.
But then I forgot the actress name, but it's a movie I think it might be called Red Room.
Jennifer Lawrence I fell asleep on that movie.
Yeah, I mean that was okay, but yeah, all
right, so it's definitely better. So it's definitely better than that movie.
Again, it's not memorable enough for me to. I think that's where the similarities end. That was Eastern European country where they train the women to be assassins as well as ballerinas. To work the way of coercion and espionage. But after that, the action leans directly back to John Wick arena. So I think that's where the similarities end.
All right, so people go check that movie out if you haven't seen it already. It's out in theaters now.
Until you wait, while you wait for John Wick 5, if it ever comes out, in between that time, check out Ballerina.
Sweet. All right, and now we're gonna go into somebody being a weirdo. I'm just kidding.
Being a weirdo.
We're going into money grabs, and by money grabs, Kareem, would you like to? No.
To buy or not to buy?
Well, that's a good question. So, enjoying something doesn't necessarily mean that the answer is yes. You should buy something. So I would have to say I got the Switch 2. Just a small little device. I'm sure nobody's heard of. But
small was heard of.
But I was able to get the bundle. So I did own the Switch 1. I did own a lot of games for the Switch 1. The Switch 1 actually for a period of time started collecting dust the past year until my son discovered it, and the big fan of Mario and Donkey Kong that he was, the Switch 1 got new life in the household. So the Switch 2 was almost like a given in terms of you love the Switch 1, you watch YouTube videos when you have your downtime. Switch 2 is going to be a lot of fun. But I do have to say the Switch 2, it does feel a lot different. The controllers feel nice. I like the way you even detach the Joy-Cons. The setup, the screen is a little bit bigger. The docking station is slightly different. It feels sturdier. Now again, the Switch One is I don't know, I guess 10 years old at this point. So
Is it
maybe
really?
No,
it's pretty old.
I thought it came out
It's
just
pretty
out just
old.
before the pandemic.
Hold up.
I thought
Um,
Animal Crossing was what getting people by.
No,
You know,
I know
uh,
it came out before. It came out before the pandemic. That I know.
yeah, I
it
know, but
definitely
I thought
came
it was
out
like just before the pandemic.
2017. So it's about 8
Oh,
years old.
whoa!
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, mm.
So
I'm feeling
maybe
old.
as time goes on, things feel less sturdy. But even then, it
Mhm,
feels solid. The construction feels very nice. The games that from the Switch One on the Switch Two, they're obviously much faster. The graphics are much better, especially if you pay for the upgrade. So in terms of the actual games, I got the Mario Kart World bundle. It just came with one joystick, one Joy-Con, the charging. But the game, you would save money on the game itself if you got it as a bundle and you plan on buying it. So Mario Kart World is a lot of fun. Um, it's one of the games that my son always watched. The Mario Kart 8. So for him to be able to play Mario Kart World is like a dream come true for him.
mhm,
They have a number of cups that you know the tracks feel drastically different. And I'm not an expert in it now, but the gameplay, the tricks you can do, the free roam, it adds a lot of different elements that weren't there in Mario Kart 8. And so I'm still learning a lot of that. And Rainbow Road, which is one of the most well known tracks.
mhm.
We finally unlocked it, and I do have to say, okay, Rainbow Road is incredible. I mean, the whole lead up to it, it blew his mind, but it blew my mind too. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like I'm pushing his button to take screenshots. It's just and Rainbow Road is incredible. But then he finished it, and he was like, oh, Daddy, I'm more done with Mario Kart World, and it's like. Well, there's a lot of characters to unlock, and he's gonna keep playing it over and over again.
Mhm.
But that's where we lead to: do you buy it or do you not buy it right now? Um, and the game by itself is $79, unless you have like a Costco membership, and then you can probably get a discount. And in my mind, $79 for a game, um, you should not be able to finish it in a weekend. Now we didn't finish it in a weekend, but if you just sat and played Mario Kart World, you would finish it very quickly. Unless you keep doing the online play, you keep trying to unlock, all the characters, things of that nature. But the tracks are fairly, short.
Is it,
Um,
is there any word of that they'll be adding more tracks in the future?
I'm sure they
It's
will
been a
add
minute since
some.
I played. I mean, oof, I think the last time I played Mario Kart was probably on the GameCube. I
Yeah,
didn't play it on the Switches and stuff. So I mean, it had a limited number of tracks. Like you said,
yeah.
8 tracks, and once you finish those 8 tracks, you can the different cups, the different CC levels, you can unlock. You can beat those. But again, you finish that in a weekend, $80.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, and the free roam is nice. I'm not gonna lie, the
Mhm.
free roam is nice, but it feels like if they could add more items to it. Do I regret getting it? Mario Kart World? Absolutely not.
Mhm.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to play. You can have fun over and over again. Um, but then once you finish Mario Kart World, besides playing it again, the other games right now are mainly upgrades for the Switch One. Because if you own some of these other games like Cyberpunk 2077. If I did not own that, I would be loving it. But it's one of my favorite games ever. So I finished
Mhm.
that game a ton of times. I own the DLC. I tried every which way to play the character, and I am going to get the new DLC once it becomes available later this month. So I don't want to own it again for the Switch too.
Right,
So
right.
that's not something that's worth buying for me because I already own it in every way. But if you don't own it and you've been just primarily focused on the Switch, then they do have a lot of new games that you can buy for it. Legend of Zelda, the last one, Tears of the Kingdom, it has given it new life for me. Now I actually enjoy playing it because it's much faster, graphics are much sharper. But again, that's a game that has come out a few years ago.
Did you finish did you finish the game beforehand or no?
No,
Or did you
no.
just stop? Okay.
I stopped because it's like it was massive. You have to do all of these things before you feel like you're actually playing the game. Like it felt like a really long tutorial, how to build, how to
Okay.
explore, how to. And I said, yeah, it's a
Mm.
little slow. I don't want to. I
I
have
still want
other
to play
games
it
that
though.
came out. You
Yeah,
still want to play it,
yeah.
but now it's like I don't mind jumping in. You can get a lot done and then jump back out.
Okay.
But it was just the timing of it. Then it was like there's too many games to play this massive open world game where you can easily get lost. Um, but the games don't start coming out until next month. That are new, like Donkey Kong. I'm looking forward to that. So there's games that are coming out that are all out for the Switch. But if you own another console, you may already own those games as well. So I do recommend the Switch too, but do you need to get it right now?
No.
Because it's very expensive. The controllers, the games,
Yeah.
you get the bundle, but then you realize, wait, there's no second controller. Okay, I'll just get Joy-Cons. How much do Joy-Cons cost? Oh, $50. That's not bad. Oh, wait, that's one Joy-Con, not the other side of the Joy-Con. If you want to get that, then it's $100.
So the
Hold
little
on.
the red and blue thing is now considered two separate controllers.
Yes, but you can still buy them together, but that's now $100 basically.
Okay, wait, no, absolutely not. So you're telling me, because yes, I still have mine. These are now considered two different things.
Yeah.
And you have to buy.
So is that considered a bundle by getting them both on the device as a bundle, or
it is?
Is it an option you can buy it with just one side of it now?
Yeah. I mean, they've always had to replace it, but now they're emphasizing it more. Where it's like, wait, how much is one? And then you have to get two, and then you're like, well, I can't play Mario Kart World with my son. I mean, you can if you do half the controller, unless you get a second controller.
Can you still use the old ones?
You can. So you can any controller, or pretty much any controller you have for the Switch 1, you can use now for the Switch 2, but it will not have all the functionality of the new controllers. Which again, it has a mouse. The new controller has a mouse, but what game are you going to play with it? Maybe if you get Civilization 7, but I already own Civilization 7.
I think that's the downside of when you revolutionize the controller game. Because if you think about it, Nintendo started off with the old AB plus minus select and start, and they went to the Trident version of a controller with the N64, looking like that with the little piece in the middle. Then they had the GameCube with it was a little different, but it had the almost like a dual shock sticks or whatever. And they went to the Wii, where it's just a little your remote Wii was just pretty much this. You shake it or whatever, and now it's two separate ones that you got to use. And that you're telling me that you can buy the Switch 2 with just one piece. It doesn't come with two things.
You know,
I feel like they can monetize this even more.
And that's my issue with it. So it's very nice. I do like the controller. I do feel as if the Switch 2 is going to revolutionize gaming in a number of ways. And I don't want every new console has the same exact controller. They just improve it. Sometimes you want that. And they do have a new Pro controller. And the Pro controller is actually cheaper than the Joy-Con too. But I do like everything that they're capable of, or they're supposed to be capable of doing. But they even, for example, have a tutorial game to show you all the new features, and you have to buy that separately. And it's like, okay, Nintendo, I get it. And that's my concern, where it's like they are charging a lot. So yes, you can pay $400, $499 for a bundle, but if you want to get extra controllers to be able to play together or the game, it's going to cost you. And that's why I'm like, yeah, this is.
So looky here, I'm gonna be riding this baby till it die.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think the physical cartridges are still cheaper than the digital. Like if I was to buy Mario Kart digitally, it's still more expensive.
Yeah. So you might be better off buying a physical copy of a Zelda game on sale and then just paying $10 for the upgrade, as opposed to buying the Switch 2 version, which is the same exact thing for $79. And that's my issue, where it's like that greed may hamper the system itself and everything the system can do. Because now it's like, okay, I have it and it has all these new features, but what games can I play with it?
Right. Like at this point, it's better just the way that they're going in terms of price. It almost makes more sense just to get a gaming PC and play on a computer because then it's less hassle than
But
it
you
would
can't take that
be.
with you unless you're on the Steam Deck or
Who
something like
needs it?
that.
Okay, yeah, true. You're right. It's not
I
portable.
miss the days. This is the PSP. Simple. You just drop the little
Yeah.
disc in the game. I had the God of War themed PSP. I had the Kratos face on the back or whatever. That, but I don't see me buying the Switch 2 at all. It's more so because not the pricing, but it's like there's not much gaming wise on it that I really want to play. Like since the Switch 1, I had that one. I played primarily Animal Crossing, the first Zelda game, which I finished. I never got the second one, which I wanted to play, but then I never picked up my Switch again. So it's like I can
I
wait. I mean, I can buy it for whatever it costs on eBay or whatever and pick it up and play. Because other than that, those are the only three games of interest to me for this exclusive for Switch. Like I didn't even bother looking into the Metroid games. It's like
So I want Metro Prime, and then I
mhm,
was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna buy this day one, because I was under the impression that it would be available day one, and then as it got closer, I said it's not gonna be available day one,
yeah.
and that is supposed to use some of the new features, but again, it's like, where's it at? Um, is it being used every day? Absolutely. And if I'm not playing it with my son, then he wants to play it. And again, the Mario games, we love Mario games, Zelda games, but if you're not set on that, you probably can wait.
Now, with your Switch, did you Switch 2 purchase? Did you pre-order it, or you just walked into the store and picked it up?
I pre-ordered it.
Okay, I know
I
someone
did.
who they're still on a waiting list to get to be able to get theirs.
I did
wait a
go
minute.
to Best Buy yesterday,
Hmm.
not too far, and they did have two of them left in there just on the shelves. I mean, obviously it was locked up, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
may find more luck going to stores
I
than
figured
trying to order it
it's going to get
online.
harder as we get closer to Christmas
Yeah,
to find those.
yeah. But I like it overall right now, excluding the price of adding up. If you're gonna just get the console and it's just you and the handheld, then yes. But buying more for families and games, it adds up. And I hate that $79 price point.
Yeah, that's a
That
commitment.
is ridiculous.
It's a commitment.
Uh,
That's before tax too. So
Yeah, PC gaming, Steam, you get games on sale every 2 months. Steam goes on sale with some games, and you know, 79. I'm not there yet.
Is Sonic Generation available in the wait? Okay, Sonic Shadow Generations, is that already available on in the US for the
It is.
Nintendo for the two? Okay, I'm
It
like,
is.
cause I'm trying to figure because I'm on a Japanese website.
And again,
'Cause
that's a good game. But if you already own it, which we do, my son, huge Sonic fan,
what's
finish
the
that
point of?
game. Why buy it again for the Switch for 79? I
Yeah,
don't know
because
if that one is 79, but
yeah, yeah.
okay, I'm yeah, because I'm just like I'm looking at the Japanese. Oops, nope, 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 nope. Didn't want that to come up. Don't want them messing with us.
you
No,
know.
it was the trailer for one of the Switch games, Survival Quiz.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
With her
Not
eyes lit
connected
up,
to
like
Father's Day. Yeah.
First off, shut up.
after these messages, Kay's gonna be scrubbing her browser history.
Yeah.
First off, again, shut up. I'm still looking at again. I'm on the Japanese site. 'Cause like, how do you have a game that came out and you have no games for it? Like,
I figure that you can just use the previous games. You got the
Yeah.
console, because you don't need to. If I'm understanding correctly, you can still take your old. If I have the first Zelda that was on Switch 1, if I have the physical cartridge, I can throw it inside the Switch 2 and play it. I don't have to pay for anything special to play.
No,
So I figured that so you can still play the old stuff on the new one. When you have the
you
physical or
can.
digital, you just I'm sorry, well physical. If you have the digital copy, can you download
They
that
work
onto the
as
new one
well. Yes.
for free, or you have
So
to pay the $10 upgrade?
you can do it for free, but it may not have the upgraded graphics. Like it'll run faster, for
but the
sure.
graphics
So
may not
like for
be.
example, the Zelda game, I
Mm-hmm.
had a digital copy. And actually the transference from the Switch 1 and Switch 2 was very seamless. It's like, the phones now, you just hold them together, it puts everything on there. There were no issues with having all the new data.
Okay.
Um, but you won't have the improved graphics It'll look better in general, but you won't have the improved graphics until you pay for the upgrade. You won't even realize it until you pay, and then you're like, oh wow, there's a huge difference. So at first,
Mhm.
I just had the regular Zelda, and I said, you know what, I got a Nintendo gift card. Let me just put the $10, use $10 from it to upgrade, and it wow, it's a difference. There is a
Oh, okay.
difference,
Wait,
but
you
it's
have
not
Hogwarts
necessary.
Legacy? You have
Which one?
The Hogwarts Legacy game.
I do, but not for the Switch.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say try
But
that. See what that's
yeah.
like.
I'm sure it'll look great. If it can play Cyberpunk at those settings, it can play any other game that you try to play.
Oh, okay. Well, mm,
It
the
is
But
the
yeah,
price
fun. It
point.
is a fun console. I'm enjoying it. I don't
yeah,
regret
yeah.
getting it.
Just I'd rather wait and see when there's more exclusives coming out that would be of my interest. Um, as of right now, there's very little out there.
I'm cheap. I'm not
I'm
doing
just
it.
getting into Assassin's Creed Shadow, so
Ooh, I love it. I'm almost
uh,
done, but I
I'm
keep
just
getting
really getting
distracted.
into. I think I'm a level 8, so I'm really still early into the series, into this game.
Yeah.
Still playing the Star Wars uh, Smuggler. I forgot the Smuggler's. I forgot.
Outlaws.
It's an Outlaws. Yeah, I forgot some Outlaw or Rogue. Or just yeah. I finished that one. I'm just going back, just doing extra side missions and stuff. I like but I enjoyed that one. But Switch 2, I can wait. I can wait. We'll see.
Yeah. Mm.
But moving from Switch to, I guess, our anticipation of summer movies. What's a summer movie that you're looking forward to, Kay? Kareem?
Uh, no. I'm so totally looking forward to the Fantastic Four movie.
It doesn't even sound believable. Not even an ounce of believability is not
Yeah.
even there.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be so amazing.
I can see it all over your face.
I am. I'm totally like definitely.
I'm wondering
No.
how much of the Silver Surfer is going to be present in this film. Um, and for people to make the hype, oh, it's a woman. There's no Silver Surfer's always a guy. Even though I think it was a woman at some point. I don't know how long. If it was just a comic or just a shortened series. Why they went that route, I don't know. I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. Um, I mean, I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan or buff, so I don't know all the lore about it. But I'm just hoping it looks better than the last three, 4 movies. Has it been four? Was it the horrible Michael B. Jordan one, the horrible Michael Chiklis one, the horrible Michael Chiklis two. Okay, so there's only been three. Okay, so yeah, so hopefully it's better than the last three versions.
I'm
Yeah.
actually looking forward to it. I think it's gonna, I think, be
Why?
good. Because I think they're going to try to do it justice. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I say that is because this is a lot is counting on this movie. Because we already know from Thunderbolts that something happens where they enter the multiverse. So even in terms of the female Silver Surfer, who is a real character in the comic books, not the
Mm-hmm.
Silver Surfer that we're used to, completely different people. I think that opens the door to how they want to handle Silver Surfer in the main MCU. So
First
I think,
616.
yeah, so I think this is a movie where anything could happen. Because we already know that whatever happens at the end of it, they have to leave that universe. So whether or not they, stop Galactus, um,
Well, we don't know that's them on a ship. We just see the ship. According to Kevin
yeah,
Feige, it may not be them on a ship. It may not even be their ship. It may just be a ship that looks like theirs. We'll
and
see.
that's
We'll
true.
see.
But hopefully it's something that's
And we're
really.
all stupid.
Yeah, and it's not something that leads to, well, just have a conversation and Galactus leaves like, hey, Galactus, this isn't you. Yeah, I swear, if I hear them say that line, like, this
This
isn't
isn't
you,
you.
Galactus. You're just hungry, but this isn't you. And he's like, you're right. I want to leave Earth. If they do that, then I'm pissed off. But if they
Has
have
that
some
worked inside the
stupid,
comic book?
yeah, not really. No, I mean they can't destroy Galactus, but still, like, I want to see some kind of a battle. I
Well,
want to
if they
see.
can't destroy him, how does it that I forgot the name of that Hulk, the old man Hulk. Like, how did he have him? Like he had tamed him or something. The old, like, there's like the Maestro Hulk or whatever, when he had like the long beard and all that stuff. Like he did the whole Marvel universe dirty. But
Yeah.
like, how did he?
So it depends on the story where they change it up. But Galactus is basically an entity that has to exist. That if he doesn't exist, then there's like no entropy in the universe. So it's he's a natural force. You can't have things being created with nothing being destroyed, and that's what he essentially represents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I don't know how they're going to do it in the MCU. And this is one of the explanations as to why he can even change his size. Like he can make himself bigger, make himself smaller. Uh, but he is a cosmic entity that exists.
Okay.
So whether or not they get him to leave Earth alone, they ultimately can destroy him permanently, or they shouldn't be able to destroy him permanently. But I just think that with the way the Avengers went, um, with X-Men on the horizon, the Fantastic Four is the one of the biggest franchises in Marvel. And if they didn't do this one justice, then I'm going to lose hope in the MCU going forward because yikes.
They
Let's
Yikes.
say
gotta
we
They
do
would get
have,
to
something.
DCU.
yeah, I mean they
We'll,
have
we'll
they have the
see.
cast, they have the story. It looks good. I know the retro look may not be everyone's vibe, but Galactus looks good to me, and that's what I'm excited about.
Mhm.
So if they didn't do this one justice, then it's like, damn, which movie are you going to do justice then?
None.
Yeah. So Kay's looking forward to Fantastic Four.
Totally.
What movie are you looking forward to, Kareem?
Um, so since you picked that one, and this is legitimate, I'm looking forward to Superman. Um,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm hopeful
Okay.
the Fantastic Four movie is good. I'm legitimately looking forward to that. To me, that's like I'm gonna try to see that either the first night or the second night.
Mm.
But I'm a
Wow.
little bit more excited for Superman. Because I believe with all the Superman movies that we've had, and I did enjoy the last few Superman movies, but I felt they limited the character tremendously, where he just became just brute force. Where it's like, yeah, he's powerful. He can. Okay, we all know Superman is strong. We know he's fast, but there's a lot more to the character, and I'm excited to see what James Gunn has done with the character. Even the trailers alone, it's like there's more depth to the character and his abilities, not just his physical abilities, but his intellect, the way he solves problems, things of that nature. I believe this may be closer to the comic books, where Superman is, and that's what I love. I do love the Superman comic books, and I
Hmm.
believe we may actually get a comic accurate Superman in a very long time.
Okay. Yeah, it looks interesting. It doesn't look bad. I agree that the comparisons between this version and Henry Cavill is not night and day, but you can definitely see he has more of a personality and Clark Kent wise inside of the trailers as opposed to what we've seen inside the films of the Henry Cavill versions. He's
Yeah,
like, let's talk, more about action. And this one, he seems to be much more of a complex character. He already has a relationship with Lois Lane. She knows who he is, alter ego wise. It's not one of those where I take my glasses off. She's like, "Oh, I never seen this dude before in my life. Who are you, stranger danger? Let me get my whistle." And he puts a glass on. "Oh, okay, I know who you are." It's not that kind of Lois Lane, which is good.
yeah,
Hate. I always hated that. That's his
Intro.
disguise. No, it's just I just take my glasses off. No, Batman's got a whole cowl on. You can't tell him. Oh, you just tell he's a white guy. You can't tell who he is. Spider-Man's got a full-on mask. You never know who he is. But Clark Kent, yep, I put glasses on. They don't know who I am. Like,
Of
why are you playing
course.
in my face, man?
Without the glasses, you're a completely different
Like,
person.
I mean, I'm sure they may have explained in the comic books. Maybe he vibrates at such a level that no one can tell. Whatever. But don't play in my face on these movies. That's just it. I'm looking forward to it. They got his super dog in it. I'm really looking forward more to see Nathan Fillion's version of Guy Gardner, as well as Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific we've seen
yeah,
inside the CW version of the DC universe. Now let's see what Mr. Terrific looks like in in the films. I'm glad the actor who played Darwin in the X-Men movies is getting another shot at playing the superhero. Hopefully they don't do him dirty like they did in X-Men. Man can evolve outside of any danger, but we're gonna kill him anyway. Like really,
Yeah.
his ability is he can't die because he can evolve out of anything that can destroy him. But let me just
Kill him. Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. I know you two both said the pretty much heavy hitters in the summer. I'm looking forward to. Really, I think Jurassic Park because I love dinosaurs, so I want to see what they're going to do with this one. It's not a movie that it's like I know what to expect, so I don't think I'm not going in to be surprised by anything like, oh, they revolutionized the dinosaur world. No, I'm just looking forward to seeing dinosaurs eat people. So, how many people are going to get eaten by the mosasaur? Are they going to? I mean, they have some new special ed looking dinosaur that's got this big sheer mask movie forehead looking thing. Yeah, let me just see some dinosaurs eat people. I can watch that all day.
Okay, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Kay was. No, I took Kay's real movie choice because she really wasn't a fan of Fantastic Four. But
look, because there's not. Let's be honest. There's nothing coming out this summer.
Is a favorite movie for me. I can watch the Meg 1 and the Meg 2 with reckless abandon because it says people doing stupid things to get eaten. Sign me up.
Yeah.
The problem is for me, honestly, there's nothing that I care about that's coming out this summer. Like nothing.
Okay.
I was looking through. I'm like, there's nothing. I don't care about anything.
I mean, honestly, these three movies. I'm trying to think what else is coming out this summer that's I guess maybe the marketing hasn't hit me. Oh no, that's September. I was gonna say Demon Slayer, but that's September, so that's not summer. So yeah. If Demon Slayer movies came out this summer, I would have been like, yeah, I want to see the finales for Demon Slayer.
Like nothing like I'm looking at like I was looking at like so the Old Guard 2 is coming out. Okay, it looks interesting. I enjoyed the first one. It's
that's Netflix, ain't it?
Yeah. So
okay.
like that's
I'm talking about in the theaters. Yeah.
Like there's nothing like
at least their own movies I can wait to watch on streaming.
And yeah, I think that's the problem. Just like nothing looks like, oh, we're getting a new I Know What You Did Last Summer movie.
Yeah. No, we didn't need a sequel to that. I think was there already a sequel? No. Is this a reboot or just a?
I think it's a reboot. Just like there's
no. I'm sorry. It can't be a reboot because the trailer showed I think Jennifer Love Hewitt. Whoever the surviving white woman was from the
Jennifer
original
Love Hewitt
is in this one. She's old and back. She's like, now we gotta go talk to the wide sage Okage over here to tell us how to defeat these evil villains who are coming after us. Okay, because it's not Brandy or Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah,
they're dead.
They are. I'm like, there's nothing. Like everything just looks like. It just
streaming. It looks like streaming. Yeah,
it looks like streaming is gonna be the way to be.
I mean, streaming that shows how much better streaming has gotten. Where there's quality films coming out on streaming. That I think because even Voltron that with Henry Cavill, I don't know if it's coming out this summer, but they're moving that from the movies to a streaming service now.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Amazon Prime.
Which is better for me because I can watch that as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, maybe it'll be on a level of I think the Power Ranger live action movie that came out a few years ago. I've seen the first Power Ranger series. I remember when that came out. It was enjoyable, but I thought the movie that came out was decent. Like it reminded me of the Michael Bay Transformer movies. Like this is for people who are new to Transformers. This age and range. This is for them. Like for people who grew up in a cartoon, maybe it's like it's not. It doesn't capture the same magic, but got some decent action. It was okay. Will I pay to see it in the movies? No. I'll wait till it comes to streaming.
But when you think about it, the price of streaming is getting higher every day. So there should be some quality movie on there where you're like, yeah, this is movie theater worthy. And I'm paying $30 a month for the streaming service. It better be.
Yeah. I think this week coming up, you got Ironheart on Disney Plus. Starts this week. Hopefully that's good. I'm gonna check it out. I'm really just hoping that it doesn't. I don't know her full story, other than who's her arch enemies and villains. I know the whole thing how she's already gifted and smart, and how I think Tony Stark at the time before he died or disappeared or whatever. I forgot the whole storyline, but no, he worked with her in tutelage and stuff like that. But this whole the Hood, and I think I forgot, it's Anthony Ramos as the actor who plays the Hood. I think he's too charismatic for the role. Like his charm is too much for that character, because in the comics he doesn't not that he doesn't have to look exactly like the character, but he doesn't. It's almost like casting. I feel like it's like casting him to play Constantine. Like seems to be too upbeat and charming to be that kind of that kind of character. Like I need someone to be more sullen face, more I missed a few meals kind of thing. Like your boy Sandman in the Netflix thing. Like I need someone who's looking like I'm on the brink of passing out during my next scene. I need that kind of actor to play. My ribs is touching, baby. Let's go.
So wrong. So wrong.
That's my take.
Speaking of TV shows, I'm looking forward to season 3 of The Foundation. That comes out July 11th. I love that show. Season 3 already looks incredible from the trailers. It's like the build up from seasons 1 and 2 just culminates in what looks to be the best season ever. So I still recommend catching up on season 1 and 2 because there's still time. Because season 3 looks like it's going to be a masterpiece.
Yeah, and they get actually I think it's streaming.
When does Eyes of Wakanda come out?
Are you sure it's coming out?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't sure either. I'm like, because I know
it's coming out with Blade. It's coming out with Blade and Armor Wars.
Please shut up. Please shut up. Please.
Package there.
Eyes of Wakanda. For the culture. Starting on Disney Plus.
February 30th, Black History Month. February 30th.
Okay, no.
I think Black History Month. I think the current administration might have taken Black History Month from us. So I think it's February 2026.
Right.
The darkest month of the year.
No, I think it's coming out in August. I think it's coming out.
I think that she's a horrible person. Y'all suck and suck. But yeah. I hate y'all. Y'all are horrible people.
But have they even shown a trailer or anything yet?
No. But look how long it took for them to show a trailer for Ironheart. Like people were consistently every day doing a countdown. Day 45 left to like I think what? Yeah, I saw it. Like they were like every day.
There's very little marketing being put into this movie. I think they're waiting. They're I guess probably hoping that the community, the Black community, does the heavy lifting for us, and push it by word of mouth and whatnot. Kind of like what we did with Black Panther. I mean, they put some commercials and stuff out, but I mean, it's really more so the Black community got behind it and having these hosted events in the theaters and stuff that I think really drove the popularity of people coming out to see that film. That's not going to happen with Ironheart.
No, because it's already behind a paywall. With Black Panther, you can just show up to the movie theater and buy tickets. You don't have to figure out which service is it on, what day does it air, what days, how many weeks is it going to air. You can just show up to a movie, and I think they're doing it a disservice. I mean, we knew Agatha was coming out, and I did enjoy it overall, but that had marketing for a very long time. Yeah.
Have y'all heard of something called Wonder Man?
Yeah. That's the Yaya Matisse, I think. Yeah, he's the guy who played Black Manta in the Aquaman movies is going to play Wonder Man. So I heard about that because I remember people like, "Well, Wonder Man's supposed to be white."
Wonder Man looks good. That looks good. Actually, I forgot about it. But
I think that comes out later this year. I mean, honestly, Netflix, not Netflix, Disney Plus wise with the Marvel world. I'm just looking for Daredevil season 2. I heard they're going to be bringing back. They bring in Iron Fist, and unfortunately, they already said that they've seen people seen Jessica Jones on set. So so at least she's going to be there. Luke Cage is going to be there. That means Iron Fist is going to show up. They're going to be fighting. So you got them probably going to do battle with Kingpin and Punisher. We know Punisher's breaking out, so Punisher's going to show up too. So it's like Man, you want to throw Moon Knight in there too, just for a cameo, possibly?
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe even Spider-Man can catch him swinging by somewhere. Just
everybody from New York, come on, get in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it ain't that big of a city.
Fly through real quick.
Yeah.
I think that wraps up this episode for the Three Hokages podcast. So happy Father's Day again to everyone out there who knows they're a father, as well as to those who don't know they may be a father. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Have a good night.